The grid method of drawing has been employed by artists in various iterations for centuries. In a grid drawing, there are two main elements: a reference image and a drawing surface, both prepared in a 1-to-1 ratio grid. When drawing the image, the artist focuses on following the reference guide as closely as possible, one square at a time. The grid system is a useful tool, but when over-relied upon, it can limit creativity. In this exercise, the traditional grid is manipulated to suit the artist's message and creativity while still demanding the same focused practice of looking as an artist. Begin with an 8x10 black and white printout of a portrait. It's best if the portrait focuses mainly on the figure's face. I've drawn a 2x2-inch grid and labeled 1 through 4 at the top and A through E in the left-hand margin. This will aid in quick reference when drawing. Now, prepare a 9x12 sheet of mixed media paper. First, I've measured and marked an 8x10-inch rectangle in the middle of my page. I'm using a non-photo blue pencil. Non-photo blue is a common tool used in the graphic design industry that was necessary when layouts were physically laid out on a print flat. It is a particular shade of blue that wasn't detected by the camera when photographed. Non-photo blue is still the preferred layout pencil of graphic designers, comic book artists, fashion designers, and architects. Not only does the bright blue show up well on the printout, but Prismacolor Col-Erase pencils are made to be erasable. To make the angled Funhouse grid, I used a ruler to create 3 vertical lines at randomly selected intervals and angles. Then 4 horizontal lines, made in the same haphazard manner. For the wavy grid, make 5 vertical lines, keeping the outermost line as close as possible to the bounding edge. Then 6 horizontal wavy lines. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the angled grid. Using the grid as reference, draw the image. The distortion caused by the wavy or angled lines may seem confusing compared to a normal grid drawing, but in general, the same process is used for both. Start with the overall shape of the face, choose a point to begin on the grid line, and make a mark. Then follow the shape across the page until you hit another grid line and make a mark. Connect the points, and we're going to do the same on our grid here. Finally, connect the 2 points. The arc of the line will change following the distortion of the grid. Let's do a few together around the figure's head, moving clockwise. It's kind of like playing connect the dots, except the artist is finding the dots as well as connecting them. After finding the main shape of the face, neck, and shoulders, move on to the bounding lines of hair, and then only after accumulating all of these reference points, find the places of the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and eyebrows. Now that we have a general outline of the figure, it's time to dive into details using a variety of water-soluble graphite. The image is already wacky in nature, kind of like a caricature due to the distorted grid, and that leaves the artist free to make mistakes and play. Water-soluble graphite is a relatively new addition to a draft person's toolbox. They are unique in that they allow the artist to work with both wet and dry techniques without changing tools. Water-soluble pencils are great for making fine, detailed lines, and they're graded the same way that regular graphite pencils are. They can be used with a wash. Let's try a darker one. You can also dip the pencil directly in water and then make a mark. This creates a bold, dark line. Water-soluble graphite sticks are perfect for laying down large areas in graphite. In general, they also tend to blend more completely, so they do not show the initial mark under the wash. And just like pencils, they can also be dipped in water, and then marks can be made. Graphite putty is the latest development in graphite formulations. It's basically a kneaded eraser, except that it's made of graphite and, of course, it's water soluble. While it is non-toxic, it's best to wear gloves or wash hands promptly after using, as the graphite will transfer to fingers. There's a lot you can do with this. It is a very versatile tool. You can create a cone shape to create a nice drawing point. You can work it into a ball and blot large areas. It can be used dipped in water, just like the others. And this makes a very dark line. You can even leave it out to harden. Graphite putty will erase easily if left dry, like in this area here. Areas with a wash, however, or where the putty was dipped in water, are less forgiving and can be harder to erase, like in those areas. Unlike with pencils or crayons, there is some material maintenance involved with graphite putty. Keep the packaging sealed to maintain constant humidity. Add water incrementally to the package based on how malleable you desire it, or if you notice the putty showing signs of excessive dryness. The material can even be revived if completely dried out. Can't wait to try it? Go to dickblick.com for all your water-soluble needs.